and the other on June 3rd. Okay, the face-to-face 0314 is going to meet 2 days a week on Monday and Wednesday for 3 hours, and then the 1314 college algebra will meet the other 2 days. Yes? I'm sorry.
It's so loud. It is from here too.
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start over to make sure that you're able to hear me. Okay, so this summer at our campus, we are offering 2 0314 1314 combinations that are face-to-face. Both of them are going to be 8 weeks long, one starting on May 20th and the other on June 3rd. And the way we've designed it is the 0314 will meet on Monday and Wednesday for 3 hours, and the 1314 will meet on Tuesday, Thursday for 3 hours. The 1314 will be a mixture of the students that are just regular college algebra and the ones that have to take the co-rec. In the fall, what we've decided to do after talking to both our adjuncts and our full-time is to offer the classes in pairings. And so you can see up here, math 0314 and 1314 in red. The students who are co-rec would take both of those together. When we asked our adjuncts and our full-time, they said they thought having 0314 right before college algebra would be more helpful than having it after, which is how we've had it this past semester. And so I built it so there is a pairing that starts at 8, 9:30, 11, and 12:30. And I've actually double booked these. I've made one tentative, and that way if one fills up in one of these prime time slots, if the 9:30 fills up, we can immediately open another one. Okay. We also do have a late start one that will be on Tuesday, Thursday, so the times of that one are slightly different. Okay, for our evening classes, we're going to try a 14-week late start hybrid, where the co-rec class will meet on Tuesday nights for about 2 hours. And so then the last hour will be online work. And then the college algebra will be our regular night hybrid that meets on Thursday nights for an hour and a half. This fall, we're also going to have an 0110 class for repeaters, and these are for students that earned an IP in 0314, so that they're not ready to just go and take college algebra on its own. And so I built some other classes that are all prime time, and I've saved 3 slots for these students. That way they can pick any time during the day to take that class. In order to get an 0110 to make, in the past we've tried, and well, this past spring, we had, I think, 1 student sign up because it was very specific on the time. So we're hoping doing an online portion of that will help, and Patty's going to teach that. So she will, poor Patty has to work with probably 5 or 6 different instructors for her 0110 students, but I imagine there won't be too many of those, but so that's how we're going to handle that. And that's all I have. Any questions for me on scheduling? Yes?
How does it work, or do you know at this point, will we have Tuesday, Thursday, if we're doing 0314 and then 1314, do the students and faculty like that?
Yes. We scheduled it so they're all on the same day. So they do Tuesday, Thursday, they'll go to their 0314 class first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. The evening?
Yes, the evening.
The evening, the 0314, the students that have to take the co-rec will have to come both Tuesday and Thursday evening. And then, because they'll come for co-rec on Tuesday, and then for their, I'm sorry?
It's mixed, so then the students who only need 1314
will only come on Thursday, yes. So So the students that are, so we're still offering the night hybrid to regular credit students. They will only come on Thursdays. The co-rec students, the ones that need the co-rec, will come on Tuesday and Thursday. And we think since they're in co-rec, they can, that's why we're having them meet for 2 hours on Tuesday, because we think they need that extra help. They need that one-on-one with their instructor. Any others? Yes.
Have you been doing the hybrid before? You're going to try it in the fall?
The hybrid college algebra? Yes, we have. We have one that is run at Tomball and one run at Corequisite.
Are they doing, my question is so they only come that 1 week, right?
Mhm.
Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing, or is it kind of like every other class?
This is pretty much like the rest of the college algebras. I recently talked to our person that was teaching them, and he said, he asked me, he goes, what's typical grades for college algebra? And so we had that discussion, and he said, okay, that's about where mine are. So,
All right. Thank you.
any others? Yes. She's going to talk about that. That's her portion. But she's got a wonderful program she's put together. So I'm going to let you ask her that if she doesn't answer your question. Okay. Any others? All right.
Okay, so we do use Connect Math. We do not use Connect Math for the 0314, but we use Connect Math for the college algebra. So we're trying hard to keep our 0314 independent of the software package so that we're not limited every time we want to look at a new textbook. We're not limited that we've got to develop both of them, that there's one standard running for every 0314 student. Okay, so we have, today I'm going to present on 2 versions of the 0314 class. One is the face-to-face, and one is the online, which I'm currently developing. So the face-to-face, there's a large binder going around that kind of shows you the documents that we use in 0314. I don't see it moving. He has it. Okay, but it'll be moving around. So actually, I'm not teaching 13-14 this semester. I'm teaching 0314 for the first time face-to-face, but I do have kind of an online version so I can show you the resources of the face-to-face that is being passed around. So I'm just going to go into the content of the 0314 material, and the first would be to take a look, of course, at the syllabus. So our syllabus is organized, and I'm just going to move down to kind of look at the syllabus at the grading, so you can see really the content of our 0314. So we do have attendance, participation, grid, and worksheets, which account for 30% of the grade. So the worksheets are what being passed around here, which I guess you could refer to as a workbook, in which every section of college algebra that we teach has a lesson for 0314 that builds to that same material. So each lesson that we have for every section of college algebra is developed, so about 3/4 of the lesson is developmental material, developing their algebraic skills, and the last 25% is labeled as Connect to College Algebra, which really is college algebra material. So every lesson in 0314 builds to the college algebra and then includes college algebra in the last 25% of the lesson. So the students feel the connection, they don't feel so disjoint from the actual college algebra class. So those are those worksheets. The quizzes are really up to the teacher. Whatever the instructor wants to give for a quiz, this is their freedom to determine how they want to evaluate them in the class using quizzes. Math center attendance, this is tutoring logged hours. We require them to go to the tutoring center at least 1 hour a week, and it is documented. The tutor has to sign a log sheet, so does the student, giving the date and confirming that they attended. So we are requiring tutoring attendance every week. Then there's practice tests, test reviews, and test corrections. Every time the student takes the college algebra test, they then take that graded test to the 0314 course, and then they go over it and they correct it with the instructor there to help them through it. We also help them through their test reviews, just prepping them around tests is part of that grade. So the face-to-face, like I said, is organized like this, and you will see this notebook come around that really includes the handout. Every worksheet for every lesson is in that notebook, so you can kind of flip through and you can see the connection to the college algebra. Now, if we go to my, it's so weird on this screen.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So the IP option,
Mm-hmm.
and I know this maybe earlier, but did y'all give IPs past fall?
We tried that with the Christmas, the IP was designed to put the students then into the NCBO that was only 1 hour long.
Right.
But with the Christmas break and the advertising, we didn't market it as well as we should have. We just did not get enrollment.
Okay, we didn't either at Cleveland, that's why I was asking.
So that's kind of the goal, is that the IP is the trigger to the advisor to say, hey, look, you made an IP, you know, let's not repeat this 3 hours again, let's get you in a 1 hour course.
I actually had my students that made the IPs and things that doing, and so retest on the TSI.
That works too.
And then they placed credit, but I was like, that's cool. Maybe you just needed that reminder of the math for the correct, so it's still good.
Still works,
Still
right.
good.
If they can relax enough to perform well on that test,
Yes.
go to all the trouble to pay for it,
Thank you.
get through it all. Okay, so the online, which I'm currently developing, includes a lot of what is in the face-to-face. And so I'm going to begin by, I guess, briefly going over the syllabus here, and you can start in your folder. The way I have the online course developed, or how I'm developing it, is making it into a checklist. So students can see how they're progressing and make sure they don't forget anything. So on the day one, they're to go through the syllabus, look at it. They're supposed to print it, sign it, and then submit their signature on the syllabus. Then they're to look at the class calendar, and then they're to take a pre-skills test. So we have a test that we've designed that the students take at the very beginning of the semester on day one. We don't record the grade because it's really, really bad. Okay, we would not, it would be awful. And then we also give it at the end of the semester so we can kind of compare, you know, their progression. So the checklist looks like this online, where you go in, actually let me go in as a student, it would be a lot better. So we go into the checklist, and the students can see what they're supposed to do on day one. So here's the online syllabus. When they click here, it's going to bring the syllabus up, and then they can look at the syllabus. Here we go. So here's the online syllabus, very similar to face-to-face, but in this one, I created video lessons that they're required to watch. So since it's online, they will watch the lesson in the video, and they will be given a grade for watching it. They will have quizzes for every section online, which is a test gen quiz I've uploaded up into the detailed course. It's just a multiple choice. They'll also have flowchart assignments and grid worksheets, which I'll show that to you when we get to the first test so that that's more defining. They also have discussion posts that are in here, and then they still are required to go to tutoring, even though it's an online class. So they're still required to log tutoring hours, even with it being online. And so I do have this broken down into, everything is like 20%. Like I said, I'm just developing this for the fall. I'm just kind of playing with how I'm going to really, actually implement it. But as of right now, all of these things, I'm trying to weigh them the same amount at 20% each for now. So this is kind of the development online. So I'm going to go back to the checklist. The students are supposed to print this. They're supposed to sign it. When they click the sign syllabus, it'll take them straight into what used to be called the Dropbox. They'll submit it, upload it, and it's done. As for the tentative calendar, like I said, you'll see that I've done these by lesson, but they're combined with the lesson name and the section it corresponds to in the book. So when they're taking their 13-14, they know, oh, we're covering section 1.7. This is my lesson 1. I'm supposed to do the quiz and the discussion board in this lesson. So this is just a pretty detailed layout of the calendar that they're supposed to go through in the online course for this 0314 course. So after they looked at the calendar, then they can come back in here to take the fourth item here, which is the pre-skills test. And when they click on this, It will take them into the actual online uploaded test gen. They'll start the quiz. It is multiple choice. They'll get one attempt at this. We don't want them to be worried about this, but you can see this is a test gen quiz, in which it's just multiple choice. It will be automatically graded, automatically populated to the grade book, but it's not going to be displayed to the students, so they'll see this auto grade, and then they'll move on really into the lessons. So now I'm going to turn it up. All right, so that's just kind of day one, get them started, go through the checklist. So now I'm going to actually enter a lesson, and I'm going to go into lesson 11 because I really like this material. And it's zeros of a polynomial. So again, as they enter the lesson, they can see an outline of what's in this lesson before they start it.
I'm sorry, but I love that checklist thing as well. Was that hard? That's a sidebar, by the way.
In order to do a checklist, you really should probably copy, because I had a friend, another math professor who was using it. And so it did take me a little while to figure it out, how to get all the links to work so smoothly that you link to every place. So the student really doesn't have to navigate the course. They just navigate the checklist.
Okay.
And the checklist works so that when you check all the boxes after you've done it, then it will let you proceed to the next lesson. So they have to check all the boxes that they've completed everything there before they proceed to the next lesson.
And it's pretty much saying, hey, I've done all this.
That's right. That's right.
You've been checked it.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, it's for themselves really to take note of am I missing anything? And when you're online and you're developmental online, you always have that fear of, did I do everything? Have I missed something? And that will kind of keep that set up for them so they're ready to move on.
Know what to do.
Correct. Correct.
So that's what the big thing is anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's really, I mean, I'm really happy with the checklist, and I think that the students are going to just love it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, sure, don't forget to stop me anytime. So here's my lesson 11. Again, before they enter the checklist, you can see that it says, these are the 4 things you're getting ready to have to do in here. And so they know. I've also got the learning outcomes in there, which are actually the learning outcomes from our 0308 and our 0310 classes. So I just pulled those learning outcomes and placed them in here so that this would be QN certified if I, do it completely. So they go into the checklist, and in here, I put some extra icons in it. But here's where they want to look at what you have in the notebook being passed around. They can look at the blank lesson notes, okay? And if they want to work on it, they can work on it. They really should look, of course, at it and see what they can do. In addition to the blank notes, I also have instructor-filled notes to guide them through. So if they're struggling with the work, they can look at this and see step by step how it's done. And then they can either fill in the blank themselves and use this as a guide, just whatever is best for them. But they have all the resources available to them. So they have the blank ones and the filled ones as a resource. Then and after they looked at those, they click here that I either printed it or I viewed it, and then move down to the next one. So as they come down to the next one, this is his video, and in this one I have 2 videos, and so they can play the video, and it is captioned.
Welcome to today's lesson on zeros in topic 1 for solving problems.
So of course they can enlarge the screen, they can watch the entire video. It's going to only be between about 15 and 30 minutes. I do not do every question. I just kind of randomly pick the ones that I felt would be most beneficial to the student. So they can watch it, of course, as many times as they want. And this specific lesson was rather lengthy, and so I did make 2 recordings, one for the 0314 developmental skills, and the other because I did every question of the college algebra part of that lesson. So they can watch both of them, they're captioned, and what's kind of interesting, which this I guess is kind of a hassle, is in D2L we have no way of getting a grade for having watched a video. So I've inserted this short quiz that they go in here and take this quiz, and it's 1 question, true or false. It's based on integrity. Select true to confirm you have watched this lesson video to record a completion grade. So once they select true, this goes immediately to the grade book that they have watched the recordings. So their recording grade is just going to automatically populate throughout the semester. So that's you know, it's kind of funny. It's going to take them a little while to learn how to do this. That's submitted or not.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, they will have to do that with every lesson. Yes.
Sorry. So here's my, have y'all used the texting relay?
I thought about doing that because there are ways to, within the recording, to do things like put questions that they have to answer that question before they can move on. Our technician was not real comfortable with it yet, and I needed to get this developed.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And so I kept moving.
And so part of my question stems from the fact that I'm supposed to do a 0324 on my call. So that's kind of.
Right. I briefly kind of looked into it. I didn't have a lot of support yet because it's so new. And I was just concerned about getting all of this developed before it was going to roll out in the fall. And so I put it back on. But this is a way to accomplish kind of the same task, which is to show that yes, they did watch the video if you're going to give them a grade.
On the video to user stats based on who's accessed it, you can see the static capacity.
That's true. But again, this is going to roll out to any adjunct who's teaching this, and I'm not sure. I'm going to have to teach how to edit some of this stuff even, you know. So I'm trying to make this as automated as possible, and that's more of the automation. So we have a video, and after the video, then there's to take a quiz. And the quizzes are not long, okay? Some of them are only like 4 questions. I try to keep them short and sweet because they're taking one every day. So before the quiz, I went ahead and made what I call a sample quiz, which shows my handwork to it, so they know what's coming. So they can print the sample quiz, kind of study it, so there's not this anxiety about taking this quiz, it's going to be a grade. And so they can look at that before they go in and actually take the quiz. Okay, and so the quiz is a whole lot like you saw the pre-test. They start it, they come in here, it is multiple choice. And like I said, just like the sample quiz, same number of questions, they're just algorithmically generated differently. So I'm getting ready to do 0 on this, see what it does when I can submit. Yes, you have 4 unanswered ones, okay? All right, good. We did decide we would let them have 2 chances because this is an 0314 class, just trying to get them ready for college algebra, so we're not being hardcore with this. So in general, that's what at least every lesson has at least this much in it. It has the blank classroom notes or the blank lesson, the filled lesson in it. Then it's going to have the videos, and they're going to have to do the quiz to confirm they watched the videos, which is quick, that's pretty quick. Then they're going to have the sample quiz and also the actual quiz. Yes. I use Camtasia, and every one of you can have Camtasia downloaded. It's not just a Tomball. It is available to everyone. There was a time when there were limited licenses, but now it's open to everyone. They have purchased it so that anyone can use it across the district. There are plenty of licenses, so just have it looked for yourself if you want to do it. It's a pretty elaborate recording studio, and just to advise you right now, do not try to use the captioning within it. I spent hours on end doing my own captioning. Your captioning is done very well in YouTube, so upload it to YouTube. Upload your MP4 to YouTube and let YouTube caption it. I have spent so many hours captioning myself. So don't do that. So, yes, the embedded link is from YouTube, correct? Yes.
I was going to say, you can also, there's a program called Ink to Go that I use for my classes, and it's simpler than Camtasia. I mean, really, it's like record and stop. And there's a pause in there if you need, but it's called Ink to Go. And Ink, I-N-K, and then the number 2, and then go. And it's $20 or $30.
Oh, yeah, so I was just about to ask, like, is it available to us?
I bought my own personally because it was before before we started using it. Now it's another option to use, and it is simpler, and I do exactly what she did. I upload everything to YouTube and have YouTube caption it, and in math, people, a lot of them in the math department are like, well, they're going to caption it wrong. Well, that's going to happen with any course. I do tell my students if they notice a mistake to let me know, and I can go in there and fix the captioning. So YouTube does do a very good job.
And they probably do, but when you look at your captioning, if it's not very good, switch to YouTube. Because like I said, Camtasia is a very powerful recording studio. It's been out there for 15 years, or more. But, oh man, it's so much work in Camtasia. Also in Camtasia, if you caption for yourself in Camtasia, and then you upload it to YouTube, your files are huge, and YouTube struggles then to take that large file. So I hate to give Camtasia such a hard time, but I have been through the war with it this semester and decided that this is not the best route to use. So keep that in mind when you go in and make those recordings, whether you use Camtasia or you need to go whatever text and freely whatever you choose to use. Same thing, but I suspect they're just going to look at my handwritten field notes, right? Then they're going to look at my field quiz after they watch the video, and then they're going to try the quiz. And it's only a 4 or 5 question quiz. So how long does that really take? Now, if they need more time, then they need more time, but they better get after it. They better use that tutoring facility. They better jump in there and work a lot harder than just that. But if, I have not taught it online as of yet, but my online, what I've developed so far is I do have recordings, I do have typed notes just like this that I've used in my face-to-face 13, 14. I already have the notes typed like that, I already have recordings made, the whole thing, it would be identical to this. I've not done it, but if I were to develop the 13, 14 online, I would develop the same way. I take that back, with the exception of the fact that they would be using Connect Math for their homework, so it would vary a little bit there. Okay, so that's just a basic lesson. So now I'm going to take briefly and look at, I think it was, again, lesson 5 I want to jump into briefly also. Lesson 5, if you take a look at it, you can see it has the lesson notes, which will be blank and filled. It has the video, it has the sample quiz, it has take the quiz, and it also has a link to the discussion board. So I'm going to go in here and show you what the discussion board looks like. So I'm going to scroll down past all of those checklist items. This is the discussion board, and when you go into discussion, and I believe I have 6 discussions in here, and you can see them listed in the notebook. The discussions are questions like this. What resource within D2L or within your math software is most successful to you? What resources outside of D2L is most successful? So if they're using some type of, if they're going into YouTube and they're watching another professor present on this material and they're finding it to be very helpful, they'll put that in this post so that other students can see it. So they can share amongst each other what resources they're finding to be very helpful, so other students can then try these other options. And also just talking about is attending tutoring once a week, is that helping you? And then expound on your experience with that tutoring. Most students love tutoring when they finally get themselves to go. And so hopefully this will help them to all kind of bank off of each other's experience and say, hey, this is a pretty good deal. So these are the kind of discussions I have up, that they just type a sentence in reply, and they can, what they have to do is make an original post of answering these questions, and then they have to make 2 replies to other students' posts. So they make their own post, and it opens their ability to see that other students' written responses, and then they go in and make a short reply. I'm only requiring like a full sentence in here, but I'm hoping that some will be more more eager to type more that they can each read. Yes. Sure. It's like, I'm hoping if, I mean, honestly, if any of you wanted to teach this online course and wanted to copy this entire thing, I welcome that, and then you can, get rid of my stuff and put your own notes in, or put your own recordings in as you develop them, or, I mean, if you're desperate for time, once I get this complete, copy it and let it roll, and then you go in and put your stuff in there instead of mine as you develop it, so it takes some of that pressure off.
Do you do those posts and then like maybe collect what sites and what videos and
Well, this is my first one, but that's my intention. That is my intention.
that is your intention,
Right. But it is kind of nice to have them throw it out there for everyone else to read, so that they're working together. Right. Right. So this is just one of them. I have many, you can see there's many discussions as to what the questions are like. Yes?
How are you going to implement tutoring across these minor systems?
So the students, I have a tutoring, it's just a PDF, line item where you write your name, you sign it, they write their name, they sign it, you date it, and then they will have to scan it as a PDF and give it to me at the end of the semester. So I have advised that they take pictures of this frequently so that if they lose it, they still have their documentation. But I'm still trying to figure out what to do with students that may be out of district, how to confirm. Yeah, how to confirm. Right, or even out of district, correct. So I'm going to have to kind of play that as to how I'm going to do it, but they really need tutoring. We're supposed to have online tutoring, but I'm not sure. Has anyone ever known of any of their students using the Lone Star online tutoring, especially for math? Yes.
We look into that, trying to find more information about that and other resources they can use to replace going to the tutoring center.
But we do think that retutoring is a necessity for these students. We don't want to eliminate it. They're just going to have to figure out how to make that happen. All right, so as we're grading these discussion boards, we can go through the grading board. We're probably familiar with that, but we can go through. It's not difficult, but there's 50 points assigned for doing the original post, and they have to make their original post answering these questions before they can look at other people's work. So 50 points for the original post, and then 25 points for each of a minimum of 2 more replies. Again, this should not take long. It really should not take too long when you're thinking about the time required. So now I'd like to go back in and I would like to show you, yes, go ahead.
Yesterday, I went through this as a student myself to see how long it took. And just to let you know, it did not take very long. Yeah, I let the video play, I looked at everything that I was supposed to look at. It did not take me that long. So I know for students it may take a little longer, but I didn't think it was too much.
It really depends on how serious the student is and how much work they're willing to put into it, how much they need to put into it. So if they know it already relatively well, they can move through it quickly. But if they don't, just like the face-to-face, they're going to have to work for it. Okay, so then I'd like to show you some test material. So when they're getting ready to take a college algebra test, right? So, and I know that it's going to vary per college algebra teacher they take. So what I decided to do is I was going to show them a sample flow chart that I created, then have them create their own flow chart and submit that for a grade. So this would be kind of like a test review as they're prepping to take their test. And after you take the test, they'll have a grid assignment, a grid video, and a grid video assignment. So I really want to show this to you. I think this is quite fun. So you're in here, and I just developed this yesterday. It was not easy to do. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is called Visio, V-I-S-I-O, which is a Microsoft package, which you can eat. It's free to us on campus. It took me a while to get this all figured out. But this is the first page, and so what I've done is like, this was quadratics, and so I right here find, this is a quadratic in standard form, find your quadratic equation in standard form, then find the vertex, the axis, the symmetry, the x and y intercepts the graph. So what this requires them to do is they're to go either to the test review their teacher gave them, or to some homework problems they've done, or some of the quiz problems they've done, or stuff in the textbook, and make sure they even know what a quadratic equation standard form is, to put it here. But they're going to have my notes, which goodness are kind of small on the screen too, but you can expand so that they can see my sample and how it's done, so they know what they're supposed to be doing. So they just have to go retrieve an example from wherever, from the textbook or whatever, and put it in here. Then I have it in vertex form, that's section 3.1. Then 3.2 is in behavior. I said, show me an example where it is in standard form, and in other words, factor. So they get the degree correct or the behavior. So you can kind of see the setup of the flow chart. So what I'm asking, and I've got a blank one for them to fill out, but what I'm saying that they can do is if they want to put this on a big piece of paper or a poster board, wherever they want to do, they can. Then they can use their telephones and use CAM scanner to take a picture of whatever they've done and then give it to me in a PDF form. So the goal is to have them created, and it will work generically for any college algebra teacher with any test review they give them to be able to create this and give this to me. So hopefully this will help them to organize or compartmentalize all the different segments of the material they've learned, which is frequently their problem. I can do all the homework so well, why did I fail the test? Maybe you need to compartmentalize what you're doing. So this is something that actually I worked so hard on yesterday to make happen.
Went to the second page.
Yeah, let's see if I can get it to go to the second page. There it is. Okay. And there is a copy of this in the binder. Also, actually, this binder is in this binder. The little binder. Where it's printed in as a legal size sheet. When it's legal, it's really big and it's bold so that they write bigger. So anyway, this is like I said, I mean, it looks like it's huge, but if they're just copying it from something they've already done, which is a goal, hopefully it's not going to be overwhelming. So there's the flow chart. And then there's a blank one here for them to fill in. Okay, so we're going to see just if that works or not, but that's kind of what I'd like to see happen. Then we also have our grit in here, where our students first are so that's the grit. Go further. Where we have a reflection assignment, which is things like after you've taken the test, what grade did you think you were going to make? And what did you make? How did you feel about your chances of success the minute you left the classroom after you took it? How do you rate the test? How did you prepare for the test? Were you hungry? Were you daydreaming during the test? This kind of stuff. How much time did you spend learning outside the classroom? So these kind of questions, they'll be quick to answer these. It should be time consuming, but it's a reflection so they can look back and say, I should have done that differently. So they're going to have one of these worksheets per test. And then also they're going to have a short video, and I'd like to show this. I don't know if we have time. We do. So I want to show this to you real quick. It's a 2-minute video. our students that when you're doing your homework and you get to a question you can't do, you don't just stop and give up. You know, expect someone else to make your life happy, to fix all your problems. So, and we have a worksheet that goes with this also. And it's questions like, when you run into a barrier, do you just give up and fail college algebra and never get your degree because you can't pass college algebra and blame it always on algebra kind of thing? So the goal here is to say this is not the way to address life problems, that you have to find other resources, other avenues, other ways around the problem, because there are other ways around it, and keep progressing. That it's kind of stupid to sit there and just give up when there are other ways to get around it. So we also have just a quick video assignment where they answer some questions about what do you think is what do you think, how does video pertain to math, and how does it pertain to your life, and how can you do something differently than just stopping and hope someone else fixes your problems. So we have several videos kind of like this. Some of them with a grid that says, if you fail the test, the answer is not to study harder. The answer is maybe to study differently. Use other ways to study. Instead of doing the same thing the wrong way and failing it even worse the next time, find another avenue. So a lot of motivational stuff in here for them to look at. So anyway, we've run out of time. We're supposed to be out here, I think, in 3 minutes. But again, I welcome you. Once I get this developed, I intend to be through this by the end of the semester. I have no issue if you would like to copy it, and then you can edit it and do whatever you want to do it for your online course. Editing is a lot easier than developing it for sure. And I just hope it was helpful. It is a community group right now, so I've got to figure out how to open it up so that everybody, I think it's only a community group in my college level. Right. Yes, I can, and then you can get into it. Oh, the whole notebook? Well, if you have this, you have the whole PDF.
There you go, it's all in each book.
It's all in here. It's almost every book's PDF.
All right, my question is this. So I looked at how you calculate your grade. Do you have any testing in your program?
No, only the quizzes. The quizzes are your testing, and then submitting things like, submitting the tutoring log sheet, right? They've got to submit that. So the quizzes, the tutoring log sheet, and then of course submitting things like the worksheets that go with the grid videos.
No exams.
Only the quizzes.
And so all of your work then pertains to like tests and things of that nature, are so that they are preparing themselves for that
Or college algebra. It's just being ready for college algebra. So it's the support to college algebra. Actually, no. Most of them are really amazed. I mean, they find relief from the stress and anxiety because they have someone kind of hold their hand through it.
What if they're not, what if they're like in another state, or how do you handle that?
Right, that's what I'm going to have to work on. This class has not gone up yet. This is a small live class. I'm still creating it. It's not complete. So I'm going to have to really play with that and see what happens.
And then maybe they're going to another school, and so you can always say, this is not school.
Right. That's what my hope is that they are attending another school.
They
Right.
have to take tests for their college algebra somewhere.
Right, so they're going to have some access.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you guard against that just makes someone do worse?
I cannot.
Yeah.
If they want to do it, I guess they do. But what's that going to do for them? Will they still pass the college algebra test or not? And they're linked together
Yeah, and the college algebra, they're actually taking tests.
in the testing.
So if they
system.
pass this part, but not the college algebra, will be better for you.
No.
They cannot pass this.
They can't pass this.
Right. If you fail college algebra, you cannot pass the 0314.
That's how we have it set up on our campus.
Oh, okay.
The very best you could do would be a D, which would give you an IP. you did go back again and take only the 1 credit hour course instead of the 3 credit hour NCPO, not credit hour, but the 3 NCPO course.
You said again, so if they fail the 13th course,
They cannot pass 0314 with anything better than a D. And the D, but not a D, but an IP. And the IP would give them the option to take the 0314 as a 3 credit hour or to take it as a 1. So they can take it as a 1 hour rather than 3 again if they receive at least in the 60s. Thank you.